Alright, well, I'm doing this video because actually I put a post on Facebook earlier, and I thought I would do this video so that more people could see this. You know, I'm 41 years old, okay, and for about 25 of those years, no, take that back. About 15 or 20 of those years, I was drinking, doing drugs, or, well, combination of both. And, for the most part, I had a normal childhood. Well, not really normal. Parents were divorced when I was 16, and, but all in all, I went to school. I didn't hurt for anything. It wasn't until a year or two ago that I became sober, clean. I'd stopped doing everything. I even stopped smoking cigarettes. And, a lot of things come into focus when you're sober. That's for sure. Because I think that you numb a lot of shit out. You numb a lot of shit out when you drink or do drugs. But I always knew there was stuff going on. And I just couldn't, I couldn't really think about it. Well, I sit here and say that I've had a normal childhood, but when I was very young, I was molested by one of my cousins. And this lasted for a very long time. Several years, in fact. Off and on. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so naive to everything that I didn't even know what was going on at the time. I thought it was some fun game, But he knew. But I never really thought about it. It's not really something that you think about. You're not really going to sit there and say, you're not really going to tell people that you were molested by a guy, being a guy. Not that it's right. If I had been molested by a woman, it's not that would have been right, but it's just dealing with the homosexual aspect of things. So I buried it. It stopped. It stopped happening when I was a teenager, and so I just didn't think about it. Well, my parents got divorced, and I didn't see that coming at all. My dad was a preacher, and out of the blue, I found out my parents separated, and then come to find out that the reason for the separation was that my dad, over the years, had been having numerous affairs. That's just, on my mom. And pretty much shakes your faith. Your dad's a preacher, and all the while he's out there doing what he did. But I kept with it. Well, I started drinking. I started doing drugs. I think I had my first joint when I was like in my late teens in alcohol, and I just got hooked to it because it numbed all that out. My mom, when when my parents got divorced, my mom freaked out. Like she couldn't handle me because I was rebelling. I was going through my stuff. Maybe because I was molested, and maybe because I was having a tough time dealing with that, or the divorce, or a separation, or whatever. But she really wasn't having it. So she shipped me off. She told me to go live. She basically told me to go live with my cousin and my aunt and uncle for the summer of my sophomore year. And I thought it was going to be just for the summer. I thought I was going to come back because I lived in Georgia at the time, and my uncle and aunt and them lived in Texas. I thought it'd be just for the summer. But into the summer came around, and I found out that my mom was moving to Texas with me. But that started the whole, Jason, you need to go somewhere else. I can't deal with you right now. Several different times that's happened. My mom did it again to me. After I graduated high school, she basically told me that I had to go live with my dad. You know, come to find out that she was dating a guy, and probably, years later, they got married. But, I'm pretty sure that he basically told her that, you know, he's got to go. Talking about me. So, I moved in with my dad, and we lived together for a while. And I moved back to Georgia because he wound up getting remarried. Come to find out that the woman who he's married to, who is now my stepmom, was one of the women that he was suspected of having an affair with back when he was married. I'm not saying this for some sob story. I'm not trying to sit here and get, oh, poor me. The reason for me telling you this will come out here in a little bit. So anyway, so I moved to Georgia, back to Georgia, new home, and my stepmother hated me. Just always thought that my dad was. Always thought that for some reason maybe me and my sister, who, might I add, was also molested as a child by the brother of the one who molested me. Very twisted, very, very twisted. Came to find out that actually that the brother had actually molested him, so that's probably why he molested me. Probably thought it was a game too, who knows? Or maybe he just knew better. Who knows? But anyway. But then the stepmom just couldn't stand me, and she was like, you gotta go. Now, I didn't make it easy for him. I didn't make it hard for him to get to that point. I was a very troubled person. I acted out a lot. But still, I was a kid. I was still growing up. I was still learning this life, And but I was shipped off again. I had broken down really bad. My life, the drugs and the alcohol had gotten so bad that I had gotten into the wrong crowd. I had, been, hung out with people that I shouldn't have. And that eventually led to my truck at the time, which was a company work truck, had gotten stolen. Right from the parking lot of the apartment that I was staying at, because I had went there the night before to go do drugs. And so I moved to Texas after all that happened, and tried to get my life together. Still oblivious to everything that had happened. Still thinking that it was just part of the plan, part of life. Well, a lot of things happened. I got engaged. I met women. I got engaged to this woman, and it didn't work out. Her and I were just, we argued all the time. She was on a different path. And so I went to school. I went and got a degree in drafting. And it didn't work. When things got too hard at the job that I had gotten right after I graduated from college, I quit. I broke down, which was bad timing because I was living in an apartment with some people that I went to school with and graduated with, and we all got jobs together. So I was unemployed, but I was like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? And so I went to a recruiter from some temp agency called me up and was like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. It's in Kansas City, Kansas. It's in Lenexa, Kansas. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's way far up north. But you know what? It's a job, and it's what I'm doing. Well, what I went to school for. But so I moved up here, and 3 months later, I lost my job. Well, so I went back to drinking. I went back to doing drugs. Got numb again, and I did that for years until a couple years ago, actually. And I got completely sober just because I had to. I didn't go to meetings. I didn't go to, which I should have, but and like I said earlier on, when I got sober, that's when a lot of shit came to focus. There's a lot of pain inside of me. Every day I wake up and I have to find reasons and I have to think about all the good things in my life just so I don't get so caught up in the negative enough to where I end my life. I'm 41 years old. I don't have a job right now. I had a job several months ago. I was so proud of it. So happy. But around that time, my dad, who I hadn't seen in probably like 8 or 9 years, came to visit me. And I knew right off the bat that it was going to be rough. I mean, I didn't think about that though because I was like, my dad, I'm going to see him. But my stepmom had a dinner with my sister before they came to visit me and told her that he was not able to fly anywhere because he had just gotten some surgery done to remove some cancer from his body, that he had a brain tumor. And but she basically told my sister that he cannot fly anywhere because of what happened. Well, they flew out to see me. So my stepmom and dad both told me that please don't tell anyone that he's coming, all this and this. Well, he gets here and I'm enjoying time with him. We had a couple of days, and on the third day, the day before they were supposed to leave, he winds up having to go to the hospital because something happened, symptoms came up from the surgery and the chemo, whatever, and he was in the hospital. Around that same time, my fiance, who I met about 5 or 6 years ago, and we got engaged about 4 or 5 years ago. Her dad had to have a surgery, so she left. She went to be with him. And so I was alone dealing with this. And I broke down. I couldn't take it. I tried. I put on a front. I put on a facade. You know, everything's fine. But it wasn't. And I tell you, it's a really rough patch. And I think that when I just stopped. I stopped caring about my job. I stopped caring about my life. I just wanted to give up. I quit I wound up, stupidly I know, but I wound up putting in a notice saying that hey, it's my 2-week notice. And, there were some things at work that were pretty crappy that were going on. I just got trained there. And the day that my training was over, they pretty much just threw me in a pool. They threw me in the deep end. Was like, here you go, here's work. I would have, if I had questions about what I was doing, which kind of had to be answered. That people took forever. The person who trained me was actually training someone else. But anyway, that's beside the point. But anyway, with all that was going on and what has been going on, I lost my job there. But last year in July, I started seeing a doctor. I was having a lot of panic attacks. I've had panic attacks for years, and I think that, and I didn't know what they were coming from. I thought it was symptoms because I had smoked weed before and drank alcohol, and I thought that because I wasn't doing that anymore, maybe withdrawal symptoms or whatever. But I started seeing a doctor in July of last year, July of the year before. No, actually it was July of 2016. It's almost like a lot of crap came out. I started for the first time in a very long time. I talked about me being molested, and I talked about me, the divorce and all the things like that. What I want y'all to know, as y'all are watching this, is that any day there were numerous days that I could have easily ended my life, easily. Too much pain, too much hurt. The scars. And there were, the one thing that really helped me. There was a lot of things that helped me. I have a faith in a higher power. I have a faith in God. But also too, I have a love for music, and I play guitar. And so that has definitely been a therapy for me. There's groups out there. One group is called Korn. I know people who are watching this are like, really? Did he just say a group called Korn? As if there's some new group. But they have a new album that came out a while back called The Serenity of Suffering. And there's a lot of songs on there that really I can relate to. Black is the Soul, is one of them for sure. The part where he says, "Just give me back my life." I just, that's oh wow, moving. If you ever listen to that song, that's an awesome song. But and Stone Sour, and even Slipknot. I know Slipknot is not really they're not really, that's probably off the wall, but it's my cat. But she always makes cameos in videos. But I'm saying all this because I'm still here. I'm still alive, and you have to you have to think about the good to overcome the bad. Even if those moments of good are dwarfed by the giant's moment of bad, you have to focus on it because it will drive you mad if you don't. Believe me, I know. I say I like this because I know I'm not the only person in this world that has suffered. I know I'm not the only person in this world that has experienced pain, trauma. But in the last couple of years, we've had a couple of, you know, people in the celebrity world that have died because of depression. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I'm pretty sure we have a lot more people who aren't celebrities, who are just regular, ordinary people like me, who have probably killed themselves because of depression. And I could have been one of them. Many times I would have been one of them. But I tell you this, when you wake up in the morning, there's always a chance to do better. There's always a chance to break free of that. Whereas if you die, there is no going back. You may think you're ending the suffering, but all you're doing is ending your life. And I'm doing this so that people know that it's real. It's there. It's real. It happens. I'm not doing this to bring up old wounds because, trust me, I don't want to. I didn't want to do this at first, but it needed to be done. If you're watching this, thank you for watching this. And I hope that this brings some awareness, shed some light, that you don't have to be a celebrity to have depression. You don't have to be a well-known celebrity to be aware of the depression that's out there. My name is Jason Poole, and every day I suffer from it. But every day I try to overcome. Hopefully you can too. Be strong, guys. Be strong. Because if you work hard, you try hard, and you believe, you can get through this. I just went through my life in the last 20 minutes of this videotape. And as I was speaking it, I would be lying if I said that it was easy. Because I have to think about those things, So that's all I gotta say, guys. Just keep fighting. That's what I do every day. Keep fighting. Find what works. Find what works for you. Alcohol and drugs don't work. All they do is numb the pain. All they do is hide the stuff that's inside of you. Trust me, I know. I'm 41 years old, and I am just now, for the last year or two, trying to get my shit together to live a life free from everything. So, That's it.